It was a Sunday, a normal one, and without warning 15 huge saucers appeared from the clouds and hovered above 15 capital cities. No one went to work and everyone watched their televisions and waited to see what would happen next. Nothing happened next. The saucers were silent, sitting on the air, doing nothing at all, not even wobbling, not really. We tried to say hello in every language we knew, in Swahili and Spanish and Morse code and binary, and still the saucers were quiet. On the second day, we flew drones up close and found they were made of a metal we'd never seen before, and hovered by a method so clever it may as well have been magic. By the third day, a few of us were getting cocky and got close enough to take selfies, and we shouted up through megaphones, "Sorry, what are you doing here?" And the saucers stayed silent, sitting on the air, doing nothing at all, not even wobbling. And finally, without warning, around dinner time, a great booming voice came over the world, and the saucers said, "Terra." "Sorry," we said. "Come again." "Terra." "Terra," we said, and the saucers were silent. Terra, thought the linguists. Latin for earth, maybe it's a greeting of some kind. Terra, thought the religious. Roman goddess, maybe she's back and she's angry. Terra, thought the militaries. Add an ism to the end and we've got a big problem. By the fourth day, sorcerism was a world religion, and some of us wore little spaceships around our necks and began building churches. Britain held a referendum to see if the sorcerers should leave or stay, and the Prime Minister resigned. By the fifth day, we all went back to work and economies ticked over and the world went on as normal, except for the 15 huge saucers which were perfectly silent, sitting on the air, doing nothing at all, not even wobbling, not really. And on the sixth day, the governments and monarchies had had enough, and prime ministers and presidents and queens and despots came onto the lawns of their palaces and offices and looked up at the saucers and said, "What do you want? Why are you here?" And the saucers said nothing for a moment, and then came the reply, "Terra." They said, "Terra." A global state of emergency was declared. "They're obviously hostile," America said. "We should build a wall to keep the saucers out until we figured out what this is all about." "We disagree," replied Russia. "We should annex them and then claim they were our saucers all along." "This is outrageous," Britain said. "We frown on violence of any kind." "Right," America said. "But what if there's a slim to impossible chance they might have weapons of mass destruction?" "We've changed our minds. Let's invade immediately." "Now, just calm down," Norway said. "There's no reason to be violent. Maybe they're telepathic or something. We don't even know what their intentions are." "Norway's right," Russia said. "We should use nuclear weapons." "What? That's literally the opposite of what we just suggested." "We agree with Norway," Britain said. "And us," Germany said. "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Norway said. "There's no reason to be violent yet. We don't even know what they're going to..." "Well, we disagree," Russia said. "What are you going to do to stop us?" "Yeah," said France. "What are you going to do about it?" "Now look," Sweden said. "This is all getting a bit tense. We don't need to do anything rash." "So, you want a war as well, huh?" Britain said. No, Sweden replied. "We'll just be quietly sitting over here until all this is over." "I say we get rid of Norway," France whispered. "Then we fire on the saucers." "What's that?" Norway said. We were just asking if anyone has seen Amelie recently. Don't bobbed haircuts look good on French women?" "Right," Norway said. "So it's going to be like that, is it?" The war lasted just over 5 minutes and ended in complete global destruction. Those that survived soon succumbed to radiation poisoning, and a nuclear winter descended on the world, blocking out the sun. Cities were former shadows of themselves, nothing but rubble remained. And through the rubble came the call of the wind, and cockroaches listened to the wind, and survived and busied about below. And all the while, the saucers waited above, sitting on the air, doing nothing at all, not even wobbling, not really. And finally, the great voice came again. "Terra," it said. "Terra. Terribly sorry to bother you. Our translation software is broken. Could you point the way to Andromeda?" "Hello? Hello?" They're awfully quiet, aren't they? Oh, they're probably just shy. Hey, what's with all those explosions? Dunno, maybe they were having a party. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was a party. Oh, we've fucking done it again.